In this video, we're going to be adding mixed numbers with different denominators. Okay, so as you can see, we've stacked them up vertically so that we can start adding them much more easily. Now, looking at our denominators, we can see that they're different. We need to get to a common denominator, so we're going to set up our parentheses. Now, with mixed numbers versus regular fractions, we want to make sure that we don't ever forget the whole number. So we're going to move our whole numbers over first. They're not going to change yet. We'll get there. Okay, now looking at our denominators, we have 5 and 10. We want to check to see if one denominator can fit into the other. Can we multiply 5 and turn it into 10? Yes. We can multiply 5 by 2. So the whole fraction gets multiplied by 2 over 2, and then 2/10. We don't want this denominator to change, so we multiply by 1 over 1. Okay, now we're going to go top times top, bottom times bottom. 1 times 2 is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 1 is 2. And 10 times 1 is 10. Now that our fractions have a common denominator, we can add. We always start with the numerators. 2 plus 2 is 4. Denominators don't change when you're adding or subtracting, so it stays 10. And we can't forget about our whole numbers. 2 plus 3 is 5. Now, you won't always end up with a regular fraction attached to your mixed number. Here's another example when you're adding mixed numbers and you end up with an improper fraction. Okay? So first we look at our denominators. They're different. We have to make sure we have a common denominator. So we add in our parentheses. Moving over the whole numbers, they don't change yet. 1 comes over. And now we're looking at our fractions. Okay? So we have 2 and 6. In this case, 2 can get multiplied and turn into 6. 2 times 3 gets us there. So this whole fraction is going to be multiplied by 3 over 3. We do not want the 6 to change, so we're multiplying by 1 over 1. Top times top, bottom times bottom. 5 times 1 is 5. 6 times 1 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. And 2 times 3 is 6. We have our common denominator. Now we can add, always starting with our numerators. 5 plus 3 gets us 8. Denominator, whenever we add or subtract, is going to stay the same, so it's still 6. And here's our improper fraction. Our numerator is larger than our denominator. 8 divided by 6 is how we're going to fix that. So we take our 8 divided by 6. 6 fits into 8 just the one time. 1 times 6 is 6. We subtract and we get 2. And then we have 1 and 2/6 as our new mixed number. So instead of 8/6, we write 1 and 2/6. Don't forget to add your whole numbers. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So now we have 5 and 2/6. So we do have the different denominators. First thing we do, set up our parentheses. Move our whole numbers over. And now we look at our denominators. 3 does not fit into 10, so we're going to multiply the old denominators together. So 3 comes up here, and 10 comes down. We do our top times top, bottom times bottom. 4 times 3 is 12, and 3 times 10 is 30. 2 times 10, 20, and 3 times 10, 30. Still adding, starting with our numerators. 12 plus 20 gives us 32, and our denominator stays the same, which is 30. But right here, as you can see, we have an improper fraction. The numerator is larger than the denominator. When we get to this point, we have to divide. 32 divided by 30. So off to the side, 32 divided by 30. 30 fits into 32 one time. 1 times 30 is 30. We subtract and we get 2. So our improper fraction is 1 and 2/30. So when we head back over here, we have 1 and 2/30, but we haven't added our whole numbers yet. Don't forget about your whole numbers. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 5 and 2/30.